Have you ever pondered the profound impact of floods on African countries? It's a topic that brings the realities of climate change into stark focus, especially when we consider the implications for real estate. Our journey begins in the early 90s. Africa, a continent known for its diverse terrains, began to feel the effects of climate change. Increased rainfall kick-started a series of flood events that would persistently plague the continent in the years to come. In the mid-90s, the significance of these floods became apparent. They were not isolated incidents, but rather an alarming pattern. Homes, businesses, and entire communities were swept away, reducing once thriving areas to waterlogged wastelands. By the turn of the millennium, the impact on African real estate was becoming increasingly evident. Across the continent, from Nairobi to Lagos, flood-prone areas saw a decline in property value. Prospective homeowners began to reconsider their options, often opting for areas less susceptible to flooding. Fast forward to the late 2000s. Despite the adverse effects of floods, real estate development continued in flood-prone areas. The reason? A booming population and urban expansion. This led to an unfortunate reality. More buildings and homes fell victim to the destructive power of floods. In the past decade, the situation has worsened. The frequency and intensity of floods have increased due to the effects of climate change, causing even more significant damage to real estate. Entire residential areas, commercial buildings, and infrastructure have been devastated, displacing thousands of people and causing economic upheaval. Flooding in Africa has been a persistent issue since the early 90s, and its impact on the continent's real estate sector is profound. Secondly, the effects of these floods have been felt across the continent, causing a significant decrease in property value in flood-prone areas. Thirdly, despite the known risks, real estate development has continued in these areas due to population growth and urban expansion. This has led to more buildings and homes being susceptible to flood damage. Finally, climate change has exacerbated the situation, increasing the frequency and intensity of floods, and subsequently, the destruction of real estate. The story of floods and their impact on real estate in Africa is a stark reminder of the realities of climate change. As we move forward, there's a critical need for preventive measures and sustainable practices in real estate development to mitigate the effects of flooding. It's a challenge that requires collective action and one that we cannot afford to ignore.